Good evening, you guys. What's good? Good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. We all have different time zones. But I'm back with another video. I wanted to make this video in reference to talking about the narcissists and how they're stuck on repeat. You guys, the narcissists are stuck on repeat. And I don't know if any of you ever experienced having the new supply reach out to you, but I have on more than one occasion. And they are stuck on repeat. They do the exact same thing with everybody. Maybe a little bit different. May take a little bit longer. But they do the same things. And I allowed the new supply to explain to me what they were talking about. I said, listen, I don't even know this person you're talking about. This person kept asking me, she wanted to know, well, do you know the narcissist? Do you know, why they do this? Or were you with them? They told me that it was you that, no, it wasn't me. I wasn't with the narcissist. I have no idea what you're talking about. And guys, I hated to have done that. But I done that because I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to have anything more to do with it. I didn't want them to come running back to me. I didn't want them to say I ruined anything. I was still in harm's way. I hadn't moved away yet. And I did not want them to return back to me. I did not want that headache back. Don't get me wrong. I felt bad for the new supply having to deal with that. But no, I didn't want it back. And so, in my book, I didn't know the narcissist. I had no idea who this person was. And she was just screaming, well, this was, you were the page that they told me, it was your Facebook page. And I'm sure I have the right person. And you sure you don't know this person? No, I sure don't. I don't know this person. I have no idea who you're talking about. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you who this person is. And you said they were doing what? No, that's not somebody I was with. I had to keep my nose clean, guys. These people will try to come back as if you ruined something in their life. Now, you exploited me to the new supply, telling them who I was, letting them find my page to find out that I deemed you insignificant. And that's what you have to do. You have to deem them insignificant. You have to unalive them in your head. Even though they're still in the world, you have to unalive them in your head. Y'all, they're stuck on a hamster wheel. They do this with everyone. They do the same stuff. They get up every day finding ways to abuse you, finding ways to destroy different people. They with the cheating, the lying. You have to deem them insignificant in order to get past whatever it is you've been through with them. And I told y'all in a video before, they become comical after a while. The audacity for them to go and exploit you to somebody and then get mad if you tell this person anything about them. But this is also a way for them to come back to you as well. This is also a way for them to hoover their way back in. When you tell the new supply things about them, it's, you told this person this and this and this about me, and now you ruined my relationship. Or they'll try to use that to hoover you back once they go to the other side and realize it's not what they thought it was. They have to find a way to hoover you back in. And if they know you were a strong person and you realize who they were and they can't hoover you back, then they'll use the new supply to hoover you back. They will triangulate you with the new supply to hoover you back in by exploiting you to this person and having this person reach out to you and you talking about them, because a lot of people didn't get closure. Most people don't get closure. No one gets closure, right? So they try to come back, figuring this is what you're looking for. But by this time, I was educated. I didn't want, to find out anything. I didn't want this individual back. I didn't care what they had going on. I wasn't mingling in their business. I didn't give two flying figs about the new supply. I definitely did not want this person back. But I knew had I spoke on this individual, it was a very strong chance that, guess what? They'd be making a loop and coming right back to me. And that's exactly what I didn't want. So you have to deem them insignificant, which is going to cause an injury when they find out that, this is what's going on, but who cares? Y'all, they are on a hamster wheel. They get up every day with the same agenda, trying to destroy you, finding different ways to abuse you. What lies are they going to tell you today? How many arguments are they going to start just to get away from you, to go entertain somebody else? Because a lot of the times they grab things out of thin air just to cause confusion between the two of you. So they don't have to be around you and they can entertain. This is how it is so easy for them to entertain somebody else right in your face and you don't even know it. This is why a lot of people are like, well, I never saw them do this, or I went through their phone, nothing was in it, or they never was cheating on me. I don't think the narcissist I was with was a cheater. Yes, they were. They all cheat. They all cheat. How else could they have new supply lined up when they know the demise of the relationship is going to eventually go down? Who's going to take your place? They have to have somebody else. They have to have somebody else. They are stuck on a hamster wheel. They are on a pattern, and y'all know patterns don't lie. They're stuck on a pattern that they can't get off of. And check this out. This is so important. Even if the narcissist decided that, listen, and I'm sure this will never happen, but they have deep-rooted shame, right? So they know they're doing wrong. But the spirits that inhabit them does not allow them to do, listen, the spirits that inhabit these narcissists does not allow them to steer right. These spirits are designed to go against you. They make the narcissist crash you, and then they crash the narcissist. And as crazy as that may sound, this is exactly what's going on. The spirits, the evil that inhabits them, doesn't even allow them to do the right thing. They don't even have that option. This is why they're so blinded. This is why they're so naive. This is why accountability doesn't exist in their life. The spirits that use them, that inhabit them, that uses their vessel, keeps them always on that hamster wheel. They're stuck on repeat. This is why they can't get off. They have become one with this evil, and they can't flee from it. They can't flee from it. They can't get away from it. There's nothing that they can do. They are stuck. And they're too prideful to go to God. And the spirits, once again, that inhabits them is in the way of this as well. This is why narcissists do what they do. This is why they're stuck on repeat. This is why they can't fast forward. This is why they're going nowhere fast. This is what happens. This is why they do this with everybody. This is why people live all across the nation and it's the same story. This is why they do this. They are on a mission to destroy. And the spirits that work through them keep them like this. Some of them have some spirits. Most of them have legions. Listen, they can't do anything that's right. This is why they're so backwards. This is why their thinking pattern isn't humanic at all. This is why they can't do anything that makes sense. And this is why they are so blinded that they're being used bad. And one thing about the enemy, he doesn't care about them, because guess what? He uses them to complete all these missions and assignments to destroy other people. And when they fail, he makes sure they know it. Then this is why they hoover you back. Oh, y'all, they get whispers, you dummy. You couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. She's over there doing this and he's over there doing that. You failed. And then they get tormented. So they come back after you. They hoover for reasons like this. And another thing that's very important that we got to realize, y'all, you can't argue with the narcissist. You can't fuss back and forth with them. You can't talk to the new supply and say all types of things about them. You can't do all these different things. And the reason why is because, y'all, you have to look at what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the spirit. You're not dealing with what's in front of you, what's physical in front of you. You're conversing and dealing with a spirit. You are talking to darkness every time you engage in an argument with them, every time you fuss and fight with them, every time you engage, even in phone conversations, you are talking to whatever inhabits their vessel. This is what you're conversing with. It is very important to try to remember that you are conversating, talking to, text messaging, emailing. You are talking to these spirits that inhabit them, that pushes them to do the things that they do. For a long time, I didn't believe this. I was like, nah, I don't believe that. That sounds crazy. That just doesn't make sense. Y'all, it doesn't make sense. But you know what? During the end of me walking away from the narcissist, during the discard, because I was the one that did the discard. So during the discard, this person looked at me and their whole facial expression was different. these demonic spirits was actually manifesting on this person's face. Like, at first I could never see it. I couldn't see it at first. But this in particular time, I called them out, and I called them out, I told them what type of spirit I thought that they had. I'm like, I think you have this spirit, and this is what's going on. Y'all, this spirit manifested on their face with the evilest smile, and just looked at me and went out of the front door. Like, it's really true. They really are inhabited, by a lot of different spirits that use them on a regular basis. And when you going back and forth, and when you having issues with the narcissist, this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with complete darkness. You have danced that close with evil. And they are stuck on a hamster wheel that they cannot get off, because they're not allowed to get off. They have become one with this evil by doing the works of evil. And once you start indulging the things that they do, you become one with this. You come into agreement. And once you come into agreement with it, with the assignment, then that's your world. And this is why they're stuck on the hamster wheel, and this is why they can't get off. And this is why it's very important to understand that when you're engaging with them, this is what you're engaging with. And though you can't see it, maybe you don't have the spiritual eyes to see it yet, but for the ones who know, you know. But if you can't see it, then you can't see it. But just know, this is what's behind the scenes. You're always going back and forth with what is behind the scenes. And if you stay in it for a while, eventually it'll manifest and show itself. Because they can't stand to be criticized. They can't stand to be called out. So eventually it'll manifest and show itself. But best believe they're stuck on the hamster wheel that they can't get off. They can't change if they wanted to. They couldn't change. This is why you can't treat this. This is why there's no therapy or counseling or doctor who can medicate this or do anything for them. Y'all, you can't give therapy to a demon. You can't give therapy to evil. This is what inhabits their vessel. And this is why it's important to stay away once you get away. And if you haven't gotten away, to get away. And this is why it's important to realize you don't want them to hoover you. Why would you want somebody who's stuck on repeat to hoover you? And again, I say, it's not the person. It's what's behind the scenes. If you knew what they really looked like, you wouldn't play with this. And if you make them mad enough, it will manifest, and you won't play with it. We don't play with evil, y'all. We don't play with evil. Light and darkness has no business together. And we need to remember that. We need to learn to remember that. You got to stop playing with narcissists. You got to stop playing with them. They are nothing like us. We do not think the same, move the same, live the same, act the same. We do nothing alike. They are inhabited. Their vessel is being used. They're not there. The lights are on in the kitchen, but there's nobody home. There's nobody home. You got to stay away. Y'all, it was on my heart to make this video. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I see all these comments about hoovering and stuff like that, and just like the questions people ask, and I'm just like, why? Why would you want that? Apparently you haven't seen enough. You haven't seen enough. You got to realize what's really inhabiting you. What's happening to these people. You have to realize what they really, what they got going on. We're not the same. We're not the same. We can't do it, y'all. We're not supposed to be, lingering around messing with these people this long. Once you know, you gotta go. But you guys, that is it. And that's all I wanted to say. It's a quick video. Take the time out to like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Thank you guys for listening, and until next time.